money. But you got $100 million. Like, I don't get that.
Well, they paid Derek. I mean, it was inevitable. They paid Derek Carr like the biggest quarterback salary of all time at that time. And there's just no room for no one else. They couldn't do it. Like, to be honest,
They should have been
he would have
prepared.
had to take a pay cut.
The best player on that team was Khalil Mack. They
They
knew
never
his
should have
contract was
offered
coming
him.
up.
Yeah, they never should have offered Derek Carr that much money. I mean, what has he done?
Derek
He got
Carr.
him to that. Yeah, one like what? That was like 2 years ago when they had Jack Del Rio. They got to the playoffs. Then they offered them a truckload of money for that one season. It's their own fault. They never should have offered it that much.
Yeah, and another game last week, Washington Redskins. That surprised me. Adrian Peterson had 26 carries for 96 yards and 2 catches for 70 yards. Is Washington a team I should be scared of right now?
I'm going to say they probably should be the favorites to win the division.
Whoa.
But that's not, but your division is very weak right now.
We got the defending champions in there. Philly does play in the NFC East.
But what's his face, though? Like, the backup, I just don't think Nick Foles can do this for that long. We don't know when Carson Wentz is coming back. Do we know when he's coming back?
I don't know. I don't get what Atlanta was doing.
You don't get who?
I don't get what Atlanta was doing during that Philly game.
Yeah, that's what they.
It was baffling to me.
Atlanta looked terrible. Atlanta looks like they're not going to be a very good team either, and they struggle with Atlanta. So I just don't know if Foles can carry that team. So yeah, I think the Redskins are the favorite to win that division. Now, when they get to the playoffs, they gonna Redskin it up and lose first game.
That's what they do.
Season, I can see them winning 11 or 12 games in the regular season here.
Strong possibility, man. Real quick, guys, shout out to X Squad Radio, knowing 17 minutes in. Thank you guys for tuning in, however, wherever you may be listening, whether it's iTunes, iHeartRadio, or mysportsculture.com. Back to week 2 games. There's some interesting games coming up. You mentioned it earlier, Carolina versus Atlanta. What are you looking forward to in this game? How do you think the outcome is going to be?
I really don't know. Like, Cam, I know he's from the A, and just like it looked terrible last week, and then Atlanta looked terrible. It's in Atlanta. I just really don't know. Like, it's a toss-up game, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's really a toss-up game.
Sunday,
and then Atlanta's they've had our number the last couple of years.
You're right. Julio been getting off.
Yeah, so. I can't even make a call on that one.
Atlanta offense has never been the same since the Super Bowl.
No.
Since that game, they have looked putrid. All last year, and now at the beginning of the year. It seemed like they don't have a problem moving the ball up and down the field, but they get in the red zone, they get clueless.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is looking old. I don't know if it's me or if he looks old to you.
So we need to call him Matty Icy Hot.
Pretty much. He's looking like he's 40 out there. And I know he's in his early 30s. I mean, mid-30s. I think.
Yeah, he kind of always looked old to me. Like, I never thought he was young. Even as a rookie, he looked like a 35-year-old rookie.
But
it's starting to catch up to him.
To move like one, though. Like he's a statue. He's like a statue in the pocket. It's like he needs to, he looks scared. He looks scared and old to me.
Possibly. Another game.
Some of the Philly games.
We got Dallas and New York. Must-win game for both teams.
For both teams, yeah.
Sunday night game. I honestly... shit. Oh, skip. Dang. Trying to get better on this cussing, man. We got a lot more people listening to the podcast. I think New York may pull this one out. Then again, I was at the barbershop and I said New York is just highly overrated. I know they got
I think so.
Saquon, Barkley. He's pretty good, and Odell is one of the best in the game. But I don't trust the Giants' defense. But I don't trust Dakota Prescott. If they wisen up and feed Zeke the majority of the time, we're going to win the game. Because our defense is tremendously better than they've been in the past 5-6 years. But there's something about the Giants, man. We always split, so I don't know if this is the one game we win or the one game the Giants win. Always 50-50.
Where is that? Dallas, New York?
I believe it's at New York, if I'm not mistaken.
At New York. Okay.
I can't remember. I could be wrong on that. It really doesn't even matter, man, because I have zero faith in Dakota. But we stuck with this fool. They're going to give him a big contract.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he stinks it up this year.
I would not.
What has he done to deserve that contract?
I wouldn't do it. But
yeah,
old Jera, you just can't put it past.
Be out on the open market looking for somebody.
Yeah, that game is kind of like Carolina and Atlanta. It's kind of washed, man. The teams are pretty much even. Another game I'm looking at, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. If Pittsburgh go 0-2 or 0-3, what you think they're going to do about Le'Veon Bell? You think they're going to try to maybe sweeten the deal to get him back?
No, because the guy that's playing in his place did pretty well. I mean, he wasn't terrible. He had over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, James Conner.
A couple of yards receiving. Yeah, so it's like they don't really need him. It's just, I just really do think the Browns are going to be a highly improved team. Now, they shouldn't have blew that. What was it, 7-21? They shouldn't have blew that lead. But the Browns are going to be a good team. I'm thinking, 8-8. Not a good, they're not going to be a great, playoff team.
Right.
But they're not going to be like the worst team in the league. 8-8, 7-9. And I mean, technically they didn't lose. So it doesn't count as a loss,
Yeah, Cleveland.
So.
Cleveland making some strides.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to them to at least bouncing back and having a better season than they had from the previous year.
Oh, yeah,
and I said,
they've already done that. Yeah. So.
I said Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. It's actually Pittsburgh, Kansas City tomorrow. I don't see Pittsburgh winning that game. I think Kansas City is going to come in there and get Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the young quarterback they got, they gave the reins to. He looked pretty good. Was it Mahomes and Patrick?
Yeah, Pat Mahomes was looking great.
Yeah, he looked good.
Speaking of young quarterbacks, the Buffalo Bills, they got shellacked 47-3 week 1. Their starting quarterback, Nathan Peterman, was 5 of 18 for 24 yards.
Yeah,
the entire game.
Sean, I think it's Sean McDonough. I think he's the.
Yeah, they didn't come from Carolina.
Carolina, yeah, he's making us look terrible because he did this last year with that quarterback. He did Tyrod Taylor.
He did for him.
The guy immediately throws 5 interceptions in the game. And then you got to go crawling back to Tyrod Taylor wasn't even playing that bad. He just benched him.
I didn't understand that at all.
Immediately threw all those interceptions. And then you have a rookie that you moved up in the draft to take, and you still start Nathan Peterman for some odd strange reason. He can't play the game. I'm not like
Jay.
The guy can't play.
He is not an NFL quarterback.
No,
period.
He's not.
Get him out the league now.
He must be a great practice player, or he says the right things or something. Because I just can't believe. After last year, I would have cut it. Let's do 5 picks in that game. I think. I would have cut it. He would have never started for me ever.
It was up there,
and
boy.
He's behind him. Josh Allen, he may not be ready. Josh Allen may not be the quarterback, but shoot, if I move up to get you, you start, and we're going to find out. Yeah. So, Buffalo might be one of the worst teams in the league, and he might be fired at the end of the season as well. With some of the stupid mistakes that he's making.
With those moves he's made, they let go of Tyrod Taylor because they believed they were drafting a quarterback of the future. And it's weird. The quarterback of the future couldn't even beat out Nathan Peterman.
That is. I mean, I would have rigged it somehow where he would have beat out Nathan Peterman. I would have had to rig that.
And it's funny, after that game, they were still talking about starting Nathan Peterman.
Man, he needs to quit it. Like, let that go. Like you said, he's not an NFL quarterback.
No.
And it's weird. Somehow they made the playoffs last year.
Somehow. It ain't happening this year. That is not happening this year.
If I was in that locker room and I see Tyrod Taylor and he benched Tyrod Taylor for Nathan Peterman and Tyrod's not even playing that bad, I would have given up on the coach, right? I would have turned my back against the coach. But somehow,
hold on,
I'm not sure. Huh?
What the hell? Breaking news. Josh Gordon, star wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, has been released.
They're cutting him.
Why?
I saw that. I don't know. Maybe he failed no drug test or something. They're just getting ahead of it.
Actually, I have a statement from John Dorsey, GM of the Cleveland Browns, and he says, this afternoon we informed Josh Gordon as his representatives that we are going to release him on Monday. For the past 6 years, the Browns have fully supported and invested in Josh, both personally and professionally, and watched the best for him and wanted the best for him. But unfortunately, we reached a point where we feel it's best to part ways and move forward.
Yeah, he failed another drug test. It's coming. They probably going to suspend him for the year on Monday as well, the NFL. So,
Ian Rappaport just tweeted, and I mean like a second ago, he was late today to the facility.
Oh.
In addition, he was fined at Friday's practice, then injured his hamstring. The question of how is part of the reason they released him. My understanding is it's an overall trust issue for a player on thin ice. Wow.
Mm. So they don't know how he injured his hamstring, so they're saying he's faking it? Or?
I don't know. And see, later in the podcast, I wanted to know if Dez was going to land with a team. Do you think this opened up the door for Dez Bryant?
I was going to ask you about that. I don't think no one wants this. I didn't think it was that.
Dallas has really, and see, this is the other thing. It's been so much that made me hate the Cowboys this offseason. That crap with the freaking protests and Jerry just saying, you niggas better stand up. Excuse my language, but that's pretty much what he told them.
Yeah, pretty much.
How they did Dez Bryant, they screwed that dude. They knew they was going to release him last year. They waited to after the draft and after free agency to release him, knowing good well he wasn't going to sign with a team. And then, yes, the Baltimore Ravens did offer him a contract extension. I don't know why the hell he turned that down. Cleveland did as well, but apparently it wasn't enough for Dez. He shot that down.
Yeah, it's his own fault. I don't think he's going to like, to be honest.
There's a rumor going around that he could wind up with the Patriots. I'm not sure, because they just signed a wide receiver, the receiver who was released by the Bills. I think his last name was Coleman, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But, wow, Josh Gordon released. Dallas Cowboys, get on the phone now.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He
is a valuable player. Dangerous on the edge.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Got talent.
Likes to do crack, and weed. Perfect. Come on over. We'll love you in the Cowboy uniform. But so he's suspended for 6 games? Did I read that correctly?
Oh, he did how? He failed another test, though.
I could have read that wrong, but dang, this is breaking news from Enough with the BS podcast. Caught me way off guard. I wasn't expecting that at all. Another side note, Florida State fans, you guys suck, and I told you. I'm glad you guys are losing with that clown from Oregon. I was trying to tell you. Look, I don't. That's just the Florida Gator in me. But
okay.
I was talking to people